Oh, hello. I'm the Doctor. And I'm a time traveler. A Time Lord, if you will. Let me ask you something. Do you believe in time travel? Is time travel even possible? Well, as the Doctor, I say yes. And me and my sonic screwdriver have been to the edge of the universe and beyond. Okay. Hello, I'm Christopher Giano Pedisano, not the Doctor. That was just a poor impersonation of the Doctor. But I want to pose this question to you. Is time travel possible? Is it possible to travel to other time periods, either in the past or in the future? I will emphatically say yes. But I will say yes with this caveat. It is possible, and I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it has been done, for I have done it myself, but in a way that you may not think, or maybe you have heard about but never quite associated that with actual time travel. I'm going to give you two theories. Do I think that it's possible to do it in a blue box and to travel the world in a police box, such as Doctor Who? Or to quote-unquote beam me up Scotty, as they do in Star Trek? Well, I'm not sure that that's quite possible. I'm not saying it isn't. And I'm not saying that somewhere the government hasn't experimented and done things like that. Maybe they have. But for now, I'll leave that to the conspiracy theorists. But I will say that mathematically, it is possible, of course, and that deals in quantum physics, and I can show you the mathematics for it. I won't do that here, however. But I will also say that though it is mathematically possible, it is physically impossible for our bodies to do that, for we could not withstand what it would take to travel to and from other time periods. In other words, our bodies would just not survive the trip. However, I believe time travel is very possible, and I do it myself quite often. How do I do it? Think of this. Have you ever gone to a hypnotist and had a past life regression? Are you a person who does remote viewing? Do you actually go through deep meditation and find yourself wandering somewhere and seeing things in your mind's eye that you can't quite explain? Astral projection perhaps is your thing? You see, I believe that those things are indeed time travel of sorts. Now, we're not traveling in a blue box, though I wish I could, and we're not beaming up through teleportation as in Star Trek. But think about it. When you do a past life regression and you go to a past life and you are put under hypnosis and you see your life and you see some part of your aspect in another period, maybe it's the 1920s, 1800s, 1400s, could be anything. When you do that, are you really traveling back in time? Are you really going back to a place in history? Think about it. When you do that, and for those who are really well at doing being put under hypnosis, and those who can really do past life regressions and feel that, there's the key. Don't you feel and your senses are activated? Can you feel things in that period? Can you touch things in that period? Can you smell things? Under hypnosis, and I do it with a very good friend of mine, a wonderful man, and he has put me under hypnosis, and I have talked about, to give you an example, a life that I had when I was Chinese, making Chinese instruments. And I could describe in great detail and see myself in that time period making Chinese instruments. And it was during the Ming Dynasty. And I described times and events and what happened to me and described them in great detail. Now, though it was only for about I believe an hour or so under hypnosis, I could describe a life that took a lot longer than an hour to live, but I described it in such detail. To me, I describe it to be almost like a movie. When you're watching a movie, it, in the movie time, took months, right? You're watching the lives of people over months or over years or over however how long, and what's going on in the script of the movie, but yet in actual Earth time, it's roughly somewhere around 2 hours, right? A movie, hour and a half, 2 hours. But yet the movie itself, when you're describing it, you're describing events that happen, what? Over a longer period of time. And so it is when we do remote viewing, and when we do astral projection, and when you do deep hypnosis. So I ask, when you do past regression, life regression, when you go to the Akashic records, for people who do these kind of things, are they not remote viewing? I believe that they are. And I believe that remote viewing is time travel, is very possible through things like remote viewing, astral projection, and past life regression. Now, think about this. We only use about 10 to 11% of our brain. So what's happening to the other 90% of our brain that lays dormant? If we could tap into that, if we could tap into that other 90% and get that working to full capacity, could we not time travel perhaps? Could we not do great things? Could man not advance to a higher level than he's at now? Well, we know that if we could do all these things, of course we would advance and be smarter and deeper in understanding. But maybe when we tap into that through doing deep meditation, which I do, maybe during that time we are able to sort of jump into another time period, either in the future or the past. Maybe that is how we time travel. I believe that that happens, and I tell wonderful, wonderful experiences in my time travels, and I do record each and every one. So maybe sometime I'll put one up here on YouTube for you all to enjoy and to see. Now, regarding the other aspect of time travel, is it possible to do it through a blue box or through somehow a mechanism that enables our physical body to go? Well, I'll leave that to the conspiracy theorists, but I believe that it could be possible, because I do believe that somewhere out there scientists are doing things to advance in that area. Remember the German bell? They say that that was a time machine. And then, of course, there's John Titor, which I personally find hard to believe, but who am I to say? I will say one thing, though. With all this going on, and my talk of time travel, I personally have always felt that I am looking for something. I've always felt that somehow I was missing my TARDIS. But as was said to me by Laurie, and I give her full credit for this one, she told me the TARDIS is within you, meaning that at any given moment I can time travel through my gifts of deep meditation and of astral projection and of learning to do remote viewing and past life regression. So yes, I can go to places like the council. I can go to past events and past times. And I think you can too. That is one way to do it. And if there is a machine out there, and I do have a blue box waiting for me, please come. The doctor is waiting for his TARDIS.